Most ghost stories end when the lights come on, but these don't care about the light, they follow you. A crawl space that hides more than rats. A cursed antique that won't let go, and something on the ceiling waiting for you to look up. 3 true encounters you are never meant to hear. Stay, if you're brave enough. It started with a deal too good to be true. In 2016, a couple named Jenna and Marcus bought an old house just outside Detroit. It was one of those forgotten homes, dusty, overgrown, but still standing. The listing called it a charming fixer-upper. Translation, cheap and creepy. They planned to renovate it themselves, but from day one, the house felt wrong. The first night, Jenna heard 3 knocks on the bedroom wall. Always 3. Always around 3:15 a.m. Then came the whispers. Not voices exactly, more like sighs. They came from inside the walls, like someone was breathing just behind the drywall. Marcus laughed it off. Old pipes, he said. House settling. But Jenna started losing sleep. Something was watching her. On the 3rd night, while tearing out old paneling in the hallway, they found it. A hollow space sealed behind layers of drywall. A hidden cavity. Inside was a woman's black shoe, a cracked porcelain doll, and worst of all, a faded black and white photo. A woman tied to a chair, her face half burned away. Jenna screamed. They called the police. An officer arrived, skeptical, but agreed to check it out. And that's when it happened. His body cam, still recording, picked up a whisper as he reached into the crawl space. You found her. Clear. Audible. But no one was near the mic. The officer froze. He backed out, visibly shaken. Later, he told the couple he'd never been spooked on a call before, until that house. A search of city records revealed something else. The house had once belonged to a woman named Lillian Hawthorne. She disappeared in 1953, never found. The case went cold. No suspects, just rumors of domestic abuse, and a brother who vanished around the same time. Marcus and Jenna moved out before finishing the renovations. The new owners left after 6 weeks. The house has been vacant ever since. Neighbors say you can still hear knocking around 3:15 a.m. Some spirits stay trapped in the walls. Others, they follow you, even if you throw them away. This next story isn't about a house. It's about a mirror, a simple object that shouldn't be scary. But what if the reflection didn't belong to you? What if something else was looking back? Arlo was an art student in Brooklyn with a taste for vintage stuff. One weekend, he visited a dusty little antique store tucked behind a laundromat in Crown Heights. There, in the corner, was a tall, ornate mirror. The frame was chipped, the glass slightly warped, but something about it called to him. The owner sold it for $20. Been here too long, he said. Glad it's finally leaving. That night, Arlo hung the mirror in his studio apartment. It gave the room an edge, a gothic vibe. But then, the dreams started. The first night, he dreamt he was underwater, lungs burning, arms pinned. He woke up gasping, chalked it up to stress. The second night, he walked past the mirror and froze. Someone was standing behind him, a tall man, pale, grinning. Arlo spun around. No one there. But in the mirror, the reflection lingered a split second too long. Freaked out, he tried selling the mirror, posted it online. Every photo came out distorted, the glass blurred, warped, as if something moved inside. He covered it with a blanket. The next morning, the blanket was on the floor, the mirror uncovered. That night, he dreamt of drowning again. Only this time, he could see the man holding him under. He smashed the mirror with a hammer, drove the shards to a dumpster 10 blocks away. The next morning, the mirror was back, leaned against his door, whole, unbroken. He finally drove it 2 hours north and dumped it in an abandoned barn near Sleepy Hollow. Weeks later, the barn burned down. Investigators found no ignition source, just twisted metal and shattered glass fused into the floorboards. A sliver of that mirror was embedded in the wood, blackened but intact. Arlo dropped out of school, moved across the country, refuses to keep mirrors in his home. He still has the drowning dreams, and in them, that man still smiles. Mirrors can bring things into your home. But what if something was already there, above you, watching, waiting? Our final story takes us to Seattle, to a woman who thought she had peace and quiet until the sounds started. Footsteps, breathing, and something crawling where no one should be. Teresa was recently divorced and looking for a quiet place to start over. She found it in Seattle, a charming one-bedroom on the top floor of a historic building downtown. It was peaceful at first, but within a week, strange things started happening. Footsteps above her at night, pacing, dragging sounds. A baby crying at 2 a.m. every single night. She complained to the landlord. "Ma'am, you're on the top floor," they said. "There's no one above you." She insisted she wasn't imagining it. Maintenance checked the roof. Nothing. She recorded the sounds on her phone. The playback made her skin crawl. A low thump. Footsteps. Then a whisper. "You're in my place now." Determined to prove she wasn't crazy, Teresa set up a small camera facing the ceiling. That night, while watching the footage, she saw movement. Not above, on the ceiling itself, like something was crawling just beneath the paint. The next morning, she woke up to find handprints smeared across the ceiling. Too large to be hers, too fresh to be old. She packed a bag and left that night. Later, she learned the building had once had a fourth floor, removed in the 70s after a fire killed a tenant and her infant daughter. Their apartment had been directly above hers. Teresa never went back. The unit has remained vacant since. Maintenance staff refused to enter alone. And the tenant who moved in after her, he left after 1 week, said he woke up one night and saw a woman on the ceiling crawling toward him, upside down. Which of these would you never want to experience? Let me know in the comments. And if you think this is just the beginning, you're right. There are more stories buried in the dark. See you in the next one.